send y'all the replay to make sure y'all can stop it.
That's
You
nice.
can replay it and then you can edit what you need to. And then we're going to take this offline and really compact and break this down because it's a very big agenda. So I want to make sure we're going to give you so much information that after the class we're going to compact it. So what we're talking about today is why AI in 2025, some ChatGPT updates because again, I am a plus user for ChatGPT, some best practices, how to train it, prompt it, edit it, some advanced technologies. We are going to do in-class demos as well, which I absolutely love. Content planning, training, RGPD, sound like this. Of course, compliance reminders. I always want to do that. And then some key takeaways as well. So again, jam-packed. I do have a second screen over here. So if y'all have any questions, I am navigating the second screen, plus my text messages if anybody's still trying to get in here, and everything that's going on. So for 2025, the stuff that some agents do not know that can help you, and I'm specifically today talking about ChatGPT, not Claude, not Soma, not anything extra, not Gemini. This is strictly for ChatGPT because I have found it's the most useful for me and my business. A couple things that it does help you now. It's really fun. You can actually do a teleprompter in scripts. You can have them write drip campaigns because we know we don't have enough time to do all of this. But if we can get a product and a project management backing system, y'all, that gives us more time to go have conversations, connections that lead to contracts. We can update our listing descriptions, social media posts, blog posts. We can do lead magnets. You can actually role play. And what I'll do as well, we have a sales simulator for you mortgage that is going to be a +1 experience to send to you. So let's say if you have a seller that gave you a weird scenario and you're just not sure how to do it, in our sales simulator, it's going to help you deliver a message in a text, email, conversation, a Zoom video of how to +1 that experience. So that's a separate add-on that I'm going to send to you guys to make sure, again, you know how to role play this. We have text message templates that it allows. In the plus version, you can do newsletters, brand identity, marketing assets, and market predictions, which is really fun because 2025 version is updated as of July. So it's really amazing to know when they started back in November of 2022, it was only up through really 2020. And when it came 2023 and 2024, then it dialed into an April version. And now we're 2025 and it's pulling a July version. So as it's getting more robust of all of the users and the data in there, these information now is more adaptable and it's up to date, which is really cool. Some plus features that you can look at as well. You have create the uploads. I love it on my desktop because I can upload and edit. I can upload a video. I can upload a PDF. So all three versions, and I can ask it of give me some feedback, give me maybe some scripting, give me some technology. Like I can ask it depending on the output now of the plus version. It also has some memories of the past prompts. You've got voice memo, which is really amazing to do if you're on the go like I am all the time, and I know you guys are as well. You can do voice memo and it'll start recalculating for you. Which what I love for a really big voice memo is when we have our coaching sessions, I have the voice memo on and it gives me a recap of our coaching sessions. So now I don't have to go back and remember, oh, what was my to-do list? What was my action items? What I need to do? How cool will it be on a GPT Plus if you're in a buyer presentation to say, hey, I'm going to put this and then give you an update of what we talked about. So now you're having that conversation and you're giving a recap as you're walking out the door, which is a super cool option as well. You can now do PDF outputs and you can enhance the creativity and the responsiveness, which is really dynamic because when it first started, it wasn't this in detailed as much as it is. So now you're really going to be able to help the next client as well. So some best practices for GPT. is the train it, prompt it, edit it mode. And I do this every single time. We want to train it, we want to prompt it, but we also want to say, how do we want the maneuver? How do we want chat to give me the output? So the best experience for something like this is it's more clarity, we're specific, we're contextual, we have meta prompts, we have the iterative prompts, I can't talk today, and the experimentation. So on the clarity piece of this, it is the lead and the precise instructions. So we tell it so much input. It is not just say, hey, I want to do this versus this. We want to tell it so much that they understand the output. And on the contextual information, the client background, the property details, we want to be so prompt. It's like we're talking to a client and we're putting it into a text form. The meta prompts is professional content marketing, which is really cool because of all the AI platforms that are out there. You can tell it to say, hey, give me a picture based upon this information. One of my last agents, she was talking, she wanted a longhorn. It was in Fort Worth. She wanted a longhorn in the picture because it's a 20-acre property. So she threw the picture into GPT. She put it in there and said, hey, give me a really cool Fort Worth longhorn. And it was very precise and it wasn't something that was AI driven. So your prompts on there, warm it up, refine it, and finalize it. And experimentation for everything for AI, we want to experiment. How do we phrase it? Do we want the length or do we want the tone for the best output? So when we collaborate and put all these together, it really is a unique difference of how we look at doing this. On your train it method, that's very crucial because it's kind of your first step. It's your sales process. It's how to maneuver ChatGPT for the capabilities to be the relevant. So when you train it, think about your ride method. What's your role? What's your input? Your details and your expectations. So when we train the prompt, it is going to be your ride method. How do we want to do it? And your ride method starts with acting as. And no, it's just not acting as a real estate agent. It is acting as a marketing expert, a social media expert, a newsletter expert, a PR expert. We want to tell it how the role is and experiencing in marketing homes for sale. When you act as, it's you are an expert copywriter with experience in MLS data, act as a social media expert with the experience creating content that generates leads for real estate agents. So we're so specific on the R for the ride method that once you act as the experience of it, then we know the tonality that comes. The I, be so specific on what you're looking for. So if you want a context and a case scenario, write the SEO optimization for Instagram posts targeting blank, 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 your city and your niche. Those two specifics are going to be very SEO ranked because we want the city for the generative output, but then we want who do we specialize as because then the language and what we get on the output is going to be so specific for that. So write an MLS description for a house located at 123 Main Street with the amenities of the home's 4-bedroom, 3-bath, open floor plan, remodeled kitchen, outdoor living space, private bathroom. So on your input of that, the location, the address, the amenities, we just did that. I don't know why it doubled up that. The expectations for it is the email. So what is the email of that? It is the email for a strong call to action, the recipients to respond to the details. Make this an MLS description that is compliant with fair housing, does not violate RESPA. I like for a strong call to action for current renters that reach out for details on first-time homebuyers programs where they may qualify for a 100% loan. So maybe that's a first-time homebuyer or a USDA where the rent is less than their mortgage payment will be less than their rent. So the expectation of what it is. And I don't know where my D went. That's the descriptions. So what do you want the directive to be? So on your ride method, I'm going to go back just for a minute because I don't know where my D is for my ride. It's your role, your input, your details, and the expectation. So the details are what do you want to do with it? So your role is acting as, your I is how do you train it and where your platform is. And then your D is the description of it. And then your input is how do you want the outcome to come out to be. I'll get that added for that. And then the expectation as well. Again, that strong call to action. I like to one plus that. I want to say the email, the blog post, the newsletter, the Instagram post, the landing page format. So I am telling it where I want it to go for the expectation of the ride. So on your prompts, this is how we get that responsive action. So this one's a really cool kind of three-step flow for a listing presentation. Generate three versions to refine a professional or luxury model. So now we're telling it, deliver the social media posts, that descriptions of SEO, and now we're telling it the platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, with the content, with the hashtags and a CTA. Give me 25 unique marketing ideas. Ask ChatGPT for a marketing plan. So it's going to deliver a marketing plan to pick the best presentation folder for you. So now when you're looking at that, and if you put all these generative tests in there, it's going to deliver the output of the who, the what, the why, and the where. We're so specific on it's going to be optimized for what platform, and then what are the marketing ideas with a plan of action. So now you're getting this long to-do list of one listing presentation that now you can deliver to a client. What's super cool about this is you're plus one in the experience for that listing. You can walk in Mr. Seller and say, hey, here's a presentation guide with marketing plan, assets, what I'm going to do to market your property. Here's the platforms, and here's basically a checklist. Mr. Client, do I stand out from the next real estate agent? Most of the time, they're going to say, yes, absolutely you are. On your prompts, be specific. Provide your context, specify your format, and custom your instructions. So act as a real estate marketing expert, the experience in specializing in marketing loans. The subject loan is located in XXX, your city. Disclose a list of amenities. Provide me an email providing this home for prospective buyers and my database. So it tells me it's going to my own CRM. I like for this email to have a strong call to action and the recipients to respond back. So now we're asking for the CTA. So that's a really great prompt example. And when you do all of this, it's going to update you to give you what you're looking at. It gives you now 2025 version. It will probably give you a couple of prompts to say, do you like this format? Do you like that format? Or do you like this format? The one thing that you want to make sure of on this output is the tonality. I always say, hey, on my social media posts, I am playful. I always talk about football. I love a glass of wine. So I'm going to be educational and coachable. And I want to make sure the tone is friendly and warm. So depending on what your client is and that niche is the tone of how you write that style. That's going to be your output of how you deliver that as well. So this is a really great prompt example as well. Act as a social media expert with the experience in creating content that generates leads for real estate agents. Write an SEO optimized Instagram post targeting first-time home buyers, prospects in Las Vegas. I like this post to highlight 3 reasons why buying a home is better than renting. I'd like the post to have a strong call to action with current renters and they'll reach out for details as a first-time home buyer where they may qualify for a 100% loan on their mortgage payment that may less than their rent. Now, here's why I also send you the slides because I'm going to let you copy and paste these. Don't send the slides out. Don't give them all over the internet. I want to make sure you're getting these prompts so it's a copy and paste method. So when you start looking at the relative matter for that, when we plussed it, we already did prompt number 1. Now, prompt number 2 talks about your equity, your experience, your how. You can now deliver this in an email form that then you copy and paste it to your email. It also has call to actions. It's going to give you some hashtags. I don't ever put hashtags in emails, but I do want to make sure, hey, it even tells you, hey, give me an image, link in bio. So it's telling you like the where and the what and the why. So edit your output. When you're editing your output of ChatGPT to be useful, refine and customize that content to be generated. So check your app accuracy, adapt to the context, the personalized tone, and then have the refine and the iterate of what's going on. Your custom instructions could be I want the tone to be friendly, to be warm, to be educational, to understand that first time home buyers don't know anything about buying a home, but here's how we're going to deliver it to it. And then the follow up to that would be here's how I want to make sure that you get into it. I want to make sure you email it, you passcode it, like whatever you can do to get that into the system to be able to get that updated. So some custom GPTs that you have it on well, you have some custom instructions, which is really amazing on there. I've got one more coming in and she's going to join it. So while I'm sending this out, just bear with me. While we're doing this, just one quick minute. How's everybody doing so far? Are we doing good so far?
Good, good.
Perfect. All right. There's some more coming in, and this is why I wanted to get it recorded because, Zoom in 2025 is amazing there. All right. So your custom instructions are the tonality. You can tell your GPT of how every single message wants to be done. You click it under your name, it's at the bottom left-hand section. It says custom instructions, and you can tell your GPT of how to deliver the message. So it could look like Samantha Williams. Here's the background in real estate. Where are you based? What do you do for work? What are your hobbies? What are your subjects that you talk about? What are the goals that you plan to have? And then the great tonality behind that is how formal or casual do you want that GPT to be? How long or how short? You can tell it, I want it between 500 and 700 characters, 200 to 300. And then should they have an opinion? Y'all, I love my GPT. I tell them like they're amazing. They're killing it. Like I was laughing the other day. I had a cheer stuff we were working on and I'm just GPTing away. And my responses they were laughing because I'm literally like high-fiving an AI person. And they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm high-fiving my GPT because it just kept delivering the output of the stuff I wanted it to do. So I had a really fun time with mine. If you're that type of person, you always want to like think GPT, right? That's my person. So on your tone, friendly, professional, approachable, encourages personable, warm demeanor, use clear and concise messages. Samantha values simplicity and communication, prioritizes active listening, empathy. So those are big words. Samantha is attentive to customer needs. When addressing client concerns, the thorough and detailed market expectations are demonstrating Samantha's expertise in the real estate market. So now we're able to tell it, hey, here's what's going on. Here's how I want the tonality to be. And I'm going to be able to get it back. So that's a really good opportunity there. So on part one, how are we doing so far? We've got our ride method. We've got some prompts that we're going to look at doing. And now we're going to kind of go into the next information. Yes. Hold on, Andra. Without the passcode that was just sent, she said she can't get into it. Um, yes, we're gonna send the slides. You're gonna get the meeting and the slides and everything to break it down. So some advanced strategies are prompt templates. Templates make it easier for you to find best prompts to be able to use the efforts because it's so busy at what you're doing. We now make it easier So here's one super cool. They now have teleprompters. And on this one, I just did it. You're using a real estate market assistant, so it tells it the what. Write a 1 to 2 minute social media video script on XXX, your topic. Then build me a teleprompter, large white text on a black auto scroll that stops and scrolls. I love to update this day of, so I literally just did it this morning. It tells us how to do it. So we're going to be able to copy and paste these in, into the scroll. Depending on what you do for your teleprompter, you just copy the teleprompter. It's going to give you two options. It's actually going to give you the text messages to put in a teleprompter, or you can put the HTML in your teleprompter, whichever one you're doing, and then it's going to decipher the code and the video scripts for those move up buyers. So I just said the same thing, but I did move up buyers to be able to put it in there. And it does take a minute to get it all precisely prompted out. And then here's what your script would look like. If I can get that in the middle. So your teleprompter script. So there we go. And then it will tell you maybe. There it goes. So then your 2 to 3 minute script, and it's going to say, hey, let's use your scroll. There it goes. And then it's going to give you this long old crazy script. Now, for a human being like me and you, we have no idea what this script says, but it continues to go to write that script. But here's what your script looks like. So this is why I'm going to send it to you. You've got your script, which you can copy and paste just that script in Mansfield. You can put the copy and paste. The copy button is right here, and then you just put that into your teleprompter. So now you've got your context, your script, and it's going to deliver it in a message that you only hit the button. Now for me, my best practice is if I'm scripting it out, I don't use the teleprompter here. I use the captions app for a lot of my details and stuff. So I simply copy the script from above, and then I put it into my captions app because now there's a teleprompter in there. Y'all, CapCut even has a teleprompter now. You can put it in either one of those apps without doing all this other HTML stuff and HTML stuff, and it'll go ahead and just scroll it in there for you. So now I don't have to worry about taking time and all this HTML file with me. Look, I'm like, no, thank you. I even tell it, hey, thanks for doing that. No, thank you. It's going to tell you the what and the why behind there. So then it makes it super easy. But Captions app and CapCut are the two that I use that have a teleprompter. So on this content planning, y'all, it's really amazing. I built out a 90-day social media calendar because I wanted to play with it yesterday or on Monday. And it's formatted. It's got pretty color coding on there. And simply all I did to make it super easy, you're a real excuse me, you're a real estate marketing strategist, not strategist. I'm a realtor in XXX city. My ideal client, niche, first-time home buyers, move-up buyers, veterans. Create a 30-day social media content calendar tailored to this audience. So you're telling it what you want to do. So I did this so we can show you. Here's where it gets really dynamic and what a lot of people, they stop after this. They don't scroll down, and especially if you're on the plus model. As you can see, I'm on GPT-5. I think if you're in the non-plus version, it may stop at 4. But what's super cool on all of this, as we let it continue to go, I want to deliver everything in a Google Sheet because I always have my Google Doc and like Excel, but Excel is not on my desktop, not on my laptop. It's not on my phone. So everything goes into a Google Sheet for me so I can always see it on my phone if I need a quick how-to. This one was super cool. It says, hey, do you want to build it out in Canva? I said no. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to build it out in Google Sheets. I did the text version. As you can see, then I did the voice version up there. And the voice version says, hey, just format this for Google Sheets. So then what it'll do is it'll output in a table format. We go back to the x-axis and the y-axis. So when you're building your content calendar out, deliver the message of how you want the output. I want it in a table format with column 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you're so dynamic, I like to add on to mine. Give me a column where I can add in a checkbox that it's been posted. So what's super cool is when it does all of this, it now will analyze it to say, hey, give me this 30-day. As
Ayrıca verdiğim
you see,
programa
it'll
şu
deliver it in the
müşterilerle
table format with the hashtags. It says, hey, do you want it directly in there? This is what it delivered without me adding anything extra. This is the nuts and the bolts of the table format. Now, what I would plus one to this is when you have the day, the theme, and the content idea, I would tell it to give me a script, make it a hook as well, a written and on screen hook. So now I'm finishing my table. And then the very end is give me what platform do I want it on? Because honestly enough, you're not always going to do shorts and longs on every single platform. And it says, hey, based upon 30 days of the September catalog, as you can see, it talks about a before and after photo. It does the ISD, so you're not like specifically doing that one. A family photo. So y'all, it was a lifestyle of you. It takes the thinking out of it of what we have to do and how we need to do it. It now gives us that opportunity to deliver this, and it was done in less than 4 minutes. I don't know who else can build a content calendar less than 4 minutes. To now, all I have to do is copy and paste. Hey, on Saturday, I'm going to do a poll. What must have in your next home? Now I'm just literally I'm checking the box that it's done. We don't have to think about what we're doing next Saturday and next Sunday because my content is already created. It's there. Then I have to take the vision, build it in Canva, which now you literally can copy and paste in Canva. I want day one, this carousel, go build it for me in Canva, and it's now going to deliver that for you. My GPTs, you have to have the 4 or the 5 to require for that. My GPTs are a really amazing kind of upgrade. So when we were talking about earlier about giving you guys a GPT for your sales strategy, we have built out a custom GPT for how to. We have delivered all of the message of what we want to do with it. Like what traits should it have? Should it be clear, concise? What's super cool about something like this, especially if you have a large team or a small team, you can say, hey, build me a sales strategy for my entire team, and then the output of what traits. And then you can send it to every new teammate too that says, hey, if I'm a new real estate agent that's starting in day one, how do I build a pipeline, call follow up, build a CRM? So we're taking what we needed to in a 2 and 3 and 4 hour class. We're now quickly delivering the messages to be able to get it back and training the techniques. So it's a really cool adaptability. So the traits and the methods for that, the response to messages. This is one that I wrote for my football program that I run, that I'm the president for, that says, hey, I'm an experienced loan officer. I've got this, but underneath it, it talks about my football program. So I've got 2 GPTs for my VAs, my bank statement, my self-employed buyers, my first-time home buyers, and then I built one for my football program that now it delivers an A solution and a B solution. And if I'm in my A for my veterans and self-employed, over here it's not bringing in my football stuff. So it's a really great opportunity for that. Your default is cheerful and adaptive. You can do sarcastic. So if you're that person, you can do a robot. You can do a listener. I love it that you can do nerd default now for the personality. And then you can add on. Do you want it straightforward? Do you want it encouraging? Do you want it traditional? Do you want it the how to? So now we're telling it how you want it to align to you and your strategies. So this trait could be clear, concise, actionable, it's fast packed, it's results oriented, it's tailored, value, content creation, social media strategy, related queries, adaptable requests, straightforward solutions. I like the fact that they just added like all you have to
Gdzie dala Simona?
be able to add that additional stuff.
Obójcem gdzie dala
Your GPTs,
i
this is where it would be. Here's what's
obud
super
olio
cool on
samo
this.
agora što se donijeli
They've
što vou
now added,
Yes.
let me
What?
see who I can get
Samo
that
to
is
tamo što je
on.
suho se stavlja.
Let's see who is. I cannot see who was talking on there. If we can get that muted. On the left-hand side, here's the GPTs that we run. So I've got my guidelines. Crazy enough, I was talking to an agent the other day and I said, let me look at the guidelines. Y'all, guidelines for like USDA, they're 1,350 pages. And not a lot of agents know that every guideline, Fannie, Freddie, and then conventional and FHA, they're all 13 to 1,700 pages. So to be able to narrow it down, what's super cool is I go into my mortgage guidelines if I have to find an underwriter and I'm like, give me the page and the format and where it is so I can deliver this back to the underwriter because I know the answer. The underwriter maybe doesn't want that. So now I am going back to say, hey, on this page, and this page, here's why I did what I did. And I am 100% confident right now that my win rate is 100% because now I'm telling them in the guideline of where to go. I also have an open house expert. Here's the sales coaching simulator. But here's what's super cool. There's projects that you can add on there. So I have credit strategies. I have my agent growth systems. I have replay, like how do I need to reply? I have housing strategies and then I have my ebooks. You can now, whatever GPT, and if you start a new chat, you can now move it into projects. So then it lists out your projects on your left hand side. And if I would click on credit strategies, it would have the client name and the conversation. So I'm always going back into that one conversation to be able to follow up. Did we do our action items? Did we do our homework? Did we get you from that 580 to that 620, that 490 to the 580 that we just did? Because we follow the tips and tricks on a to-do list that I can come in here and get. Now, big thing on all of this, no MPI, no non-public information. We never put credit reports or any of that in there. What we do is like list out the credit reports because it's still AI and we don't want any personal information in AI. We just don't know where it's going and what it's doing. So when you start building out, what if you had listing presentations and then underneath that 123 Main Street, 137 Main Street, and now you're able to tell it and deliver it, the what and the how behind there, and now you've got all your projects lined up, which makes it super easy as well. So it's a really fun technique. So bonus tip on here, Web Chat GPT is a Chrome extension and it's free. But what that allows is it opens up all of these one-click prompts. It could say, hey, give me a top SEO Google document. How do I write this? It will say, hey, do you want to write an ebook? Do you want to deliver a SEO ranked YouTube article or a YouTube video? So if you have that custom in the install on there, it's free. You now have other options that open up of the content that you particularly could need, which is a really cool add-on feature. So a couple of, again, kind of thought processes on all of that. I like to call these smart guardrails because verify your MLS information. Don't hallucinate. Like, don't put the extra stuff that's not in there. We want to stay compliant with fair housing and RESPA. We always want to adapt to the tonality of the market and what's truly going on and then double check your dates. I had someone like they used ChatGPT. Y'all, it was super crazy. Like the dates that they had on there, they weren't anywhere close to being correct. And I'm like, why did you do this and that? They're like, oh, I didn't look at it. So we can't think that it's a copy and paste method. We have to analyze it because it is still a computer system. It is Jarvis from Avengers that is telling us what to do. There's so much data going in there right now. We still have to make sure are the titles correctly? Do we not have six, thumbs? Because the one the other day, I was like, did you really post that? And it was a true picture. Like it was a six thumb person. She had three eyes. And I was like, that's great. We're not from, our alien nation. We're still human beings. And people see that now. So what I like to do is whenever I'm telling the GPTs of how to give me the output, my final comment is always, what do I need to add to the description? Or what do I need to add to this message to make it more tonality? Is there anything else that you recommend? So now I'm saying, hey, ChatGPT, what else do you
Chat
recommend
GPT
for this
something.
output? And then I always tell it to say, hey, in my voice. So yes, I already told
How
it,
to get a training, take full like advantage
but
of, and
now
how
I'm telling
to
it, hey, I want it in my tone of how I speak. So then there is heels and there may be a wine. There's going to be a football in there because that's all the stuff that I've put in there that they understand who I am and how I am to have that output for it. So the reviews that we did, ChatGPT updates, best practices, advanced technologies, techniques, content planning, trained to sound like GPTs. So what are some key kind of takeaways from today? And then is there anything that you're going to apply? I always like to see, is there anything additional that you're going to apply that maybe you didn't know about? So I'm going to let everybody come off mute. I'm here for questions. We're going to get all of that taken care of and get that sent. But what's the one key takeaway that you have? And then what's something you're going to start implementing today?
It's
Nothing.
overwhelming, truthfully.
Nothing.
It's overwhelming.
It is. It's very overwhelming. And that's why I really like to take it piece by piece and give y'all the slides. Because when we know the input for it, we know like tomorrow. And just like anything else, is video is hard from day one, but now video is really super easy for me because I've been doing it for 5 years. And GPT, I've been doing it for 2 years now, so it's super easy for me. So if you're super new at this, the ride method is going to be easy. Is what's your role? What do you expect it to give you on the output? What's the description? And then how do you want the output? Do you want it for your email? Do you want it for a newsletter? Do you want it for a sales presentation? You can tell it the how now to be able to implement it. So now it's easier for a program management to be able to help me understand my technology. Does that make a
I'd
little bit more
love
sense?
I'd love to see a in-person class with
Yeah.
a hands-on, like let's all dive into it and let's do, make sure we have the right app, make sure we're doing, in person. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
We actually have that. We're doing an advanced AI, so it's this plus some. It is at Byers and Taylor in Fort Worth, and it is on, I want to say the 24th. Let me get you that date because we are doing it in person in Fort Worth at the end of the month. Um, I want to say, let me get that for you. Because that one we're diving into the basics of it, and it is an in-person class. So we're really going to be able to help kind of navigate that. That one, it's Thursday the 25th, and the class is 10 to 11:30 is that class, and I'll send that out as well. So we're taking this and we're going kind of next level with it. And then we'll have time built in after to make sure, like you said, Cheyenne, do you have the right app? Do you have your contacts done? Do you have your GPT set up? Do you have everything that you need that all you have to do is copy and paste it? And that's what I love to do is when I find a prompt that works for me, I put it on a Google Doc. So all I have to do is copy and paste into GPT to make it a lot easier. Absolutely. Andrew, I'm so glad that y'all got on today. I'm going to be here. Again, my goal is to become your partner, and I don't want to be a vendor. I want to be able to help y'all grow in any kind of unique technology wise that I understand it's helped my business on both sides, on helping real estate agents grow, but also helping my consumers kind of dissect some information. So once we understand and leverage what AI is actually doing for us, we understand that the humanization is still there, and we're going to be able to make sure that we will be here and our humans, that humanization is always going to be there. I am also got my calendar booked, my calendar link. So if y'all want to get on a one-on-one, we do that via Zoom or we do it in person to really kind of dive into this. I'm going to go ahead and put it up there. But that is it for the class today. That's funny. It says I'm back online. I guess I lost it for a minute. I'm here for any questions y'all may have. If y'all want to come off mute, have conversations, I'm here for y'all because we do have, looks like about 15 minutes left before we end today's presentation.
I just want to say thank you, Glenda. You are very professional and knowledgeable, and I learn a lot from you, and I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I really appreciate you too, Cheyenne. We've been in this for a hot minute together, so I appreciate you. All right, we're going to stop that share. I'm going to come off here. I'm going to get the recording. If I can figure out how to get the recording stopping, there it is.